Assalamu alaikum. My name is Alfred Ungbam. You are agricultural science teacher for SS3. And this morning we are going to have a revision before you write your WAEC anytime the pandemic is over. So I crave your indulgence to listen carefully. And the topic we are going to revise today is called animal improvement. We have done it before. If you joggle your memory, you will remember everything. Thank you very much. What is animal improvement? When you want to improve something, that means you want to make it to become better, both in quality and quantity. Let me say that again. What is animal improvement? These are ways of making our animals, our farm animals, to become better, to become standard, both in quality and quantity, so that we will have better products from them. So animal improvement have to do with changing the genetic constitution of the animals so that their traits will be changed and they will no longer be local animals but exotic animals. Now there are different ways of doing this, and we are going to look at them shortly. Methods of animal improvement. The first method is called introduction. What is introduction? That is a process of bringing an animal that have the traits or the characteristics that we desire from one country to another or from one farm to another in order to come and boost the productive capacity of our local breeds in our country or in our farm. The second method is called selection method. That is the selection of animals that have preferable or desirable traits or characteristics and allowing the others that don't have the traits that we need to go extinct or to be forgotten or to be lost. There are two types of selection. There is natural selection and artificial selection. So the method is divided into two. Either you allow the animals to select themselves naturally, what is called jungle justice, survival of the fittest, and elimination of the unfit. Then artificial insemination is where human beings intervene in the selection. Artificial selection is divided into 5 subtypes. Also, there is the individual selection. That is the selection of an animal based on its performance. Then there is mass selection. It's the selection of a group of animals based on the performance of the group of the animals. Progeny selection is selection of offsprings of animals based on the performance of their ancestors. An animal is selected because the parents produce a lot of milk or big eggs or grow very fast. So the animal, the selection of the offspring of the animal based on the performance of the parents. Pedigree selection is selection of parent animals based on performance of their offspring. Then agricultural show is the selection of animals based on the animal that win the competition at what is called agricultural show, where farmers bring their best to come and display, and the people that come to the agri show will inspect and select the best. So an animal that is selected, the animal that wins the agri show is selected automatically. That type of animal improvement is called agricultural show selection, and it's artificial selection. So the animal will be selected and it will be kept in order to produce offsprings that look like that one. The third method is called breeding. This is the mating of animals in order to produce hybrid or offsprings that look like either of the parents. There are different types of breeding. There is inbreeding or line breeding. That is mating of animals that are closely related. Outbreeding is mating of animals that are not closely related. Crossbreeding is breeding of animals that are of different breeds. Then hybridization is breeding of animals that are completely different from each other. They are not related by breed, they are not related by any parameter. Example, the mating of goat and a cow. That is called hybridization. So introduction is the bringing of an animal from one country to another or one farm to another. Selection is the allowing or giving opportunity to an animal to keep on living and producing new ones for you. That is called selection. There are two types. Natural selection. You allow the animals to select by themselves naturally. The strong ones survive, the weak ones get extinct, or you interfere in the process, which is called artificial selection. There are different types of artificial selection. Individual selection, the animal is selected based on its performance. Mass selection, the animals in a group are selected based on the performance of the group. Progeny selection, selection of offspring based on the performance of their parents. Pedigree selection, selection of parent animals based on the performance of their children. And then agricultural show selection is a situation whereby animal is selected because it has won an agricultural show or exhibition. The third method of animal improvement is breeding. That is the mating of animals so that they will produce offsprings that look like them. There are different types of breeding. Inbreeding, mating of animals that are closely related. Outbreeding, mating of animals that are not closely related. Crossbreeding, that is mating of animals that are not related at all. Then hybriding is mating of animals from different breeds. Thank you very much. So, these are the steps of artificial insemination. It is a process, so it has steps. It is a step-by-step process. The first step is the animal should be restrained. You should restrain the animal so that it will not be struggling. The second step is the tail of the animal should be raised with the right hand and rectum should be massaged. That is the female animal. Number 3, the vulva should be wiped gently. Number 4, the gum, that is the container, the device which contains the collected spermatozoa, the semen from the male animal, is put in the gun. So the gun should be inserted at a 30-degree upward angle. 30 degrees upward angle. Because if you don't do that, the sperm may be deposited in a wrong place, and that will create problems for the female animal. And the goal of the process, which is pregnancy, will not be achieved. What are the methods of collecting semen? There are different methods. There is the use of artificial vagina, which I showed you. There is the massage method. There is electro-ejaculation method. And then there is recovery of semen from the vagina after service. Service, that is after mating. You can collect the semen after the animal has finished mating. Finally, I want to show you the purpose of artificial insemination. If you look at this chicken, look at it very well. You must be familiar with it. It's a local breed. It takes 1 and 1.5 years to get to this stage. But if you look at this one is called the broiler. The broiler is a hybrid. It has been produced from animal improvement process. It takes from 6 to 8 weeks. From 6 to 8 weeks, it will give you meat that is weighing 2 kilograms or 3, depending on the management practice or how good you fed them or how properly you cared for them. Then If you look at this goat, can you see this goat? This is exotic breed. If you look at the goat, it's very beautiful. It produces a lot of milk. This breed is called Saanen. It is reared for its milk. It's a very highly productive species of goat for giving us milk. But if you look at the local breed of goat, okay, the last method of animal improvement is called artificial insemination. Artificial insemination. If the introduction method fails or does not give you what you want, selection method does not give you what you want, breeding method does not give you what you want, the last option is artificial insemination. What is artificial insemination? This is the process of collecting semen from a male animal that has desirable traits and introducing this semen into the female animal reproductive system. So the artificial vagina is inserted into a dummy female animal in such a way that when the male animal sees the dummy female animal, it will mount the female animal and start mating. And it is going to ejaculate the spermatozoa into this artificial vagina. And the spermatozoa will be collected in this collecting tube. And from here, the tube will be removed and taken to the laboratory for examination and analysis and proper storage until when the spermatozoa is needed for the artificial insemination process. The parts of the artificial vagina include the case, the outer lining, the water jacketing, and the inner liner. These are the collecting tube. These are the 5 parts of the artificial vagina: the case, the outer lining, the water jacketing, the inner liner, and the collecting tube. These two sides of the artificial vagina are constructed in such a way that the temperature within the artificial vagina will be controlled, because there is a particular temperature that the sperm should be kept under, not too hot, not too cold. So this is the last method of animal improvement. Last work. Number 1, what is animal improvement? Two, enumerate four methods of animal improvement. Sorry. That you have been taught. 3, differentiate crossbreeding from artificial insemination. Thank you very much for listening. I wish you all the best as you stay at home, as you keep on washing your hands with soap and water and coughing in your elbow. I'm Dan Karim.